welcome to episode 1 of the Wilderness Podcast, old school RuneScape discussion every week. I'm your host, Dilz, and with me is my co-host, Deagin.
Hey, what's up?
Wow, how far have we come?
You know, we're living it up, improving the quality day by day.
That's unreal. So that was a clip from our very first episode, and we're actually on episode 48, and here we are, year 1. Wilderness Podcast is 1 year old now.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking crazy, man.
It actually, like, time flies. It doesn't feel like it's been a year. It's
I
really
know.
weird.
It's weird because every time we record, I still get a little nervous before we start. I get the butterflies a bit, which is like a year in, you wouldn't really expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but...
Oh, look at you, Mr.
Yeah.
Fucking social genius over there.
I got nerves of steel, baby.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, here we are, episode 48. I am your host, Dilz, and with me, as always, my co-host, Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
The going's pretty good. Yeah, I guess let's just tell us about your week.
You know. How about yourself? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Quite a bit. So, I got... Okay, well, I guess non-gaming or non-RuneScape related. I mean, non-gaming related, nothing, but...
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, like, non-RuneScape related, just been playing, like, StarCraft and Overwatch and stuff. Trying to grind Masters out in Overwatch.
Nice. I never really got into Overwatch when it came out. I've never played Overwatch.
I mean, I was obsessed with TF2 when I was a little kid. Like, I might have said this before, but, back in, like, 2007, maybe? 2006, 2007, I used to, like, come home from school and just, like, watch TF2 character tutorials, like, how to play the soldier. And I'd watch, like, this YouTuber, I don't know what his name is, and I can't find the videos, and even though they're super outdated. But, he'd have, like, hour-long videos of super in-depth, like, how to play every class, and he was really good, and I would, like, watch it, like, over and over, and then I would sit down for, like, weeks, and, like, I'm gonna get really good as the soldier. You know, I would just do shit like that all the time.
Sure.
I was, like, in love with that game. And, so I just love the playstyle of, like, I don't even know what you would call it. Like, I want to say it's, like, an arcadey objective shooter. That's, like, that's how I would categorize it, but I really don't know what kind of FPS you'd call Overwatch. But, it's fun. I like it. Not as much as TF2, but, you know, TF2's kind of dead.
I remember when it first came out, everyone was like, oh, dude, you gotta play it. Fuck it, it's the new League of Legends. Screw all the other games. But I looked at that game and I was like, you know, that's not... I don't really play FPSs anymore because, like, my reaction timing is just, like, I guess it's really shit now over the years. I used to be a Counter-Strike pro. Not really, but... Yeah, now I suck dick at all those games. But...
Yeah, no, I'm a shooter kind of guy. There's always, like, one FPS I have to, like, kind of play. If it's, like, CS, Overwatch, TF2, like, PUBG, first-person servers, like... There's always, like, some shooter. Like, even back in, like, 2009, I was playing Crossfire with like, my buddies from, like, elementary and high school. Well, middle school and high school. And, like, we were,
I remember that game.
Yeah, like, I don't know, you probably heard me, I probably got real rowdy when I played that game, because we took it pretty serious. Like, we would do clan battles every single night for, like, a year, and we, like...
Yeah, okay.
We hit, like, top 20 at one point, and we were, like, a bunch of squeakers. There was, like, 5 squeakers, you know what I mean? Like, the youngest person out of our friend group that played was, like, in grade 5 at the time. Like, we were a bunch of little kids, and we were, like, actually pretty good at the game, and surprisingly didn't hack. Everyone hacked in that fucking game. But, I've always been, like, something about FPSs and RuneScape that, like, something that I've just always, I can't let go of. I don't know what it is.
It's always there.
There's nothing like, you know, the rush of hunting down people and killing them. But, cool. Yeah, so I just played that. I played, like, some StarCraft Remastered and stuff like that. It came out a bit ago, so I like, every once in a while I'll jump on and do, like, a campaign level or something.
How is it? Is it, still holding up?
Yeah, the game's pretty timeless. Like, it's still, like, it's really fun. And, like, competitively, like, it's such a hard game. Because, like, me being a little tryhard I am, whenever I, like, get into a game, I, like, look up the fundamentals and how to practice them and whatever.
Right.
And with StarCraft, I'm just like, oh fuck, it's so hard. The game is so hard to play. Because in StarCraft 2, you can select like 1 million units and you know what I mean, and move them around. And StarCraft, like Brood War, you can only do 12. And so when there's 200 supply, there's like 100 and something units. It's like really hard to control everything, but
True.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of playing Overwatch and some StarCraft. And this, I don't know if I talked about it before, but this RTS called Northgard, which is like, it's early access.
Oh, yep, of course.
Viking RTS game. It's like, it's closer to Civ. It's really relaxing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Been playing that a bit.
Interesting.
That's it for non-RuneScape. RuneScape related, I got 92 Slayer, which is pretty nice.
Oh, shit, that's not bad at all. What does that open up for you now? Is there a milestone at 92?
93, I can do Smoke Devil.
Oh, okay. Which opens up the thermonuclear.
Yeah. And I need to do that for Western Elite, but I don't think I don't really care for that diary yet.
Okay.
But I did my Western Hard. There's a lot. I should have wrote this down. I did a lot of shit this week. I did my Western Hard diaries. So I got like I got like 73 or something thieving. I went a little like over because, you know, that whole thieving host CC I found, and I told you.
Yeah,
guys
once you get going,
week.
there's no reason to stop. Once the momentum's picked up.
I just put on a movie and I just, you know, you're thieving right next to a bank and you're just like, just watching the movie, clicking nonstop. It's so easy. But
okay.
So I got a bunch of thieving levels. I got a bunch of construction levels, like everything to do for the hard diaries. I got all my raid requirements. So I got my Elite Void. At I think it was 571 kill count. Cerberus. I finally got another crystal drop, my third one, but it's a primordial, so 18 mil in the bag. That allowed me to buy a Dragon Warhammer.
Ooh, that's good. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I got like 13 mil chilling still. 13 mil in the bank to buy raid supplies.
So you got the the Dwarven Hammer. The Dragon Warhammer.
Yep. Dropped like 66 or 67 mil in that bad boy.
All right.
And,
you got a chance to test it out yet? Was it worth it?
So that being said, yeah, I can segue. Got all my raid requirements. I look at my buddies that I'm going to be raiding with, because I don't really want to do the free-for-all, 20-man shit. I'd rather solo or do it with like a group of friends. Just
okay, yeah.
It's more fun. In my, like, thinking of it, it's more fun, but...
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I was like I looked at their stats, and like, they're pretty far behind. Like, one of them is NMZing for max melee stats at this point, and he's like 80 attack, like 90 strength and 70 defense. So he's got a long ways to go. And then he's got to get all his quests done and his diaries done and his void. He doesn't have a piece of void yet, so that's like a week of doing pest control.
Okay.
My other friend isn't as far behind, but he's still pretty far. Anyways, doesn't matter how far behind they are, but long enough for me to go, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna try and do some solo raids for now. And, so I'm just gonna be doing that for the next month or so, but...
Going to be, or have you already done some?
So, this week, if anyone's had this issue, everyone I've talked to and it's all over Reddit, the servers have been fucked. Like, I'm disconnecting all the time. A lot of hardcore Iron Mans have died this week, and...
Shit.
All my buddies are complaining about disconnects and whatnot. But, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Like, it's gonna be like 3 hours when you do a raid. They're gonna be hard.
Yeah, okay.
And, so I jumped in, scout, like, I don't have OpenGL, like, I don't have OS Buddy Pro, so I can't scout the room, I can't scout the raid, so, like, I'll just kind of look for the first one, because you want to get something like Lizardman Shamans, or, the Armored Knights. We talked about the raids when they came out, but...
Oh yeah, we have a whole little 4-part episode where we talk about little sections of it.
Yeah. And like now there's more info, we kind of know which ones are the easier ones to do and whatever. So I kind of just hunt for one of those and I'll go and do it and then continue. But so my first attempt, I got Vespula, which is the bug boss, and it's the one with the larva, and you have to feed the larva and destroy the portal and all that jazz.
Right.
So as solo, there's a lot of methods you can do. You can do like the actual way, which is like feeding the larvae so they don't die and spawn the soldiers. You can do this weird stutter steppy type thing where you range with your crossbow at the portal and you just tank Vespula, and then you just kind of heal up. And then the way that I was gonna do it was you just suicide, because you can only do this if it's the very first room, because you're gonna lose a lot of points and it's gonna take forever. But you just run in, you don't even eat, you just attack it, the portal, and then you suicide over and over again.
Nice.
But the weirdest thing happened. I get in, I see Vespula. I'm like, dope, okay, I already know how to do this. This is gonna be easy. And then I like look at there's no larvas. They've already hatched, and there's 2 soldiers. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Okay.
Well, let me go and just do the suicide method on the portal. That might fix it. I go and suicide on the portal, and I run back, and now there's 4. And I'm like, well, there's 4 soldiers? What the fuck? Do it again, and then there's 6. Like, every time I spawn, the eggs instantly broke, and I'm like, that's so weird. So then I just reset the raid, and then I got like 30 minutes in, and I got to Tecton, and can't do it. He's so hard.
You got the dwarf. You only had a dwarf hammer. Where the fuck's that coming from? There's not even a dwarf hammer in the game. You got the dragon warhammer though. Like
he's still like, I spec him twice. You know, he's still kind of hard to hit, but it's not that. It's when you're soloing. Like the method that I do, because I bring a Hasta, and because you want to hit him with crush, right? Is like you run around him, and so you run around in a counterclockwise motion. And you stop at the last square on each side. So if he is a square, and let's say it's a 3x3 or like a 4x4, you want to go on like the 4th one just before the corner, hit him, and then go to the next last one before the corner. And you just do these loops over and over again. But because I play RS on like 90 ping, the timing is super awkward. And if you land on a corner, or like if you just don't hit the right square, he resets and goes and heals off the anvil.
Oh, right.
So I'll fight him for like 10 minutes, and he'll keep healing up, and I run out of stamina potion. I brought 4 doses for stamina, which is what you're supposed to do for solos. And I ran out of stamina trying to kill him, and he kept killing me eventually. Like I sat there for like 30 minutes trying to kill him, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm literally just trying to figure out this. Like, I'm just trying to learn. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not getting stressed. It's fun how challenging this is, but it's kind of annoying that the mechanic is fight against ping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems a little bit clunky.
And I'm also a baby. Like, if I'm playing CSGO and I get stuck on a West Coast server, I'm gonna cry about it for, 30, 40 minutes. Like, I'm a big baby when it comes to having high ping. But, so like an hour into the first raid, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm getting better at this. I'm getting to like 30%, and then I'm fucking up and dying. This is okay. And then the servers go down. I disconnect. I'm like, that fucking sucks. Wait 20 minutes, go back in. I get like 4 or 5 rooms done. I get like more than halfway done, and get back to Tecton. Got stuck on him for like an hour. Couldn't even get him down to 30%. Server's disconnected, and it's like, man,
that's fucked.
If I could do Tecton, I would have been able to get the raid done. But like, it is really fun. It's like there's an actual feel for like progression. Like right now, my big boss is Tecton. I got to figure out how to kill him. Like he's, I gotta work on it. Like Cerberus used to be really hard for me, but now I don't even really look at the screen. You know what I mean? I'm preoccupied the whole time. Like it's just easy now. So like,
that's how it was with me and Zulrah. Like at first I'm like, oh, this is fun because you got to figure out all these mechanics and dodge this, and then after like the 10th kill, you're just like, I'm tired of paying attention to the same shit. At least with a raid. And plus, one thing that sounds kind of nice is there's an incentive to do it in a group, so you can actually like chit chat with some people. Yep.
Like I might try it. Mainly, like I don't have 90 herb lore, which is really nice, but I do have a dragon warhammer. Like I have like 112 mil worth of gear, like that I bring in, and like it's not totally optimal. Like I forgot to sell my primordials and buy Pegasian boosts. That's what you want to bring to raids. Okay. And I have no Shazian favor, so I have to run to Chamber of Xeric.
What would the Shazian favor allow you to do?
It would allow me to, if I get 65%, I can take a cart from like the entrance of like where all the shamans are, the lizardmen dudes.
Right,
and I can just skip 10 minutes of running. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I just can't be bothered, so it's like, fuck. I might...
It'd probably take you like an hour, maybe 2 hours tops.
Well, like...
I'm purely guessing. I have no idea. But I know some of the houses for favor, they went by a lot faster than I had expected when I was doing it.
I mean, I'm pretty low on brews right now. I went in with like 20 brews, like total. And with scouting and kind of just, like literally, I went in kind of like, I don't know anything, so I just kind of want to try it out.
Yeah.
There's still some rooms I haven't encountered. I haven't encountered the bug one. Or not the bug one, the rock, the colored rock stuff that's kind of like the Pokemon ice maze that you made a comment about, or the...
Vaguely remember this, yeah.
Yeah, you made a comment about that during the raid episode, but I haven't encountered, like, there's still rooms I haven't encountered yet, and it's still like I'm kind of just learning it, and it's fun. I like the progression aspect, and like, even though like I was gonna get 99 defense, 99 range, 94 like I was gonna get all that shit before I went in, but it's like, you know what, like, I just want to like. I'm done. Like I've had multiple big goals since I started playing this game, and now I'm like out of goals in terms of like besides getting out. Like I got my quest cape, got my diaries done, all the ones I need to get done, and got all the levels that that I need. I have more than enough levels. Got Dragon Warhammer. You know what I mean? Like I got like all these big items that I'm pretty happy about and big goals. So now it's kind of like I'm just gonna have fun, even though I've always had fun, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Playing for just the sake of playing. And like, hey, if I get a good drop, then that's nice, but I want to experience raids, and then once my friends are ready, I can like walk them through it, because there's like a lot of things that going into it, even though I'm watching guides and stuff, I watch Wooks' like 50-minute solo guide video, I watch some other dude's hour-long group guide video, and like they don't even specify like potions and herbs, and like there's a lot of things I didn't realize. Like eventually run out of supplies, so you have to go grind this monster like the scavenger beasts and hope he drops mahogany planks, or not mahogany, some plank. They start with an M. So you can make the chest, so you can store the seeds and the herbs, so you can you can get the other mats to get the other, and there's so much like actual grinding in the dungeon where like, when I can't kill Tecton and I'm out of supplies, I go, all right, time to spend 20 minutes getting enough supplies so I can go after him for 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, which got to be pretty frustrating.
But, you know, I'll put on some music, and I gotta just take it. It's not frustrating because I go in knowing I'm doing it solo, so it's harder, and I'm, you know, very new to it. Like, that's how I learned Bandos. I went in solo with base 80s. Like, I'm just kind of like that. Just put me in the thick of it, make it as hard as I can, and then, like, by the end of it, I'll be a better RuneScape player.
Oh, hell yeah.
My mechanic will be through the roof. But, I don't know, I just find it fun, and it's, like, school starts in, like, a week and a bit for me, so it's kind of like, it's my last week to really go at it, so.
Yeah, get your grinding in for the
year. There's some
year.
people that go in the CC and see me on at like 4 a.m, and then I'm like up at like 11. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell, you're setting that alarm just to get on.
It's just
get some grinding done.
Well, it's like I'm up so my sleep schedule. I don't want it to be fucked for school. I'll just get up at 11.
Yeah,
I don't think of it as like I need more RuneScape. It's more of like I lost track of time. I'll get up early, and that'll just, and all it is just making me run on no sleep. Like, I might sound loopy because I've had like 5 cups of coffee and like 3 hours of sleep, but.
Yeah, no, I feel you with the whole sleep schedule, because with my job, I have to be up at like 6 a.m, be at work for 7:30, like 7 o'clock, 7:30. And, the problem is on the weekends, I usually like stay up maybe a little bit later, and then I kind of wake up at like 11 or like 10 or 11 a.m. And then it just, by the time Sunday comes, it fucks up my whole schedule. So then I'm staying up until like 1 a.m. on Sunday night. So then I'm only getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep for Monday, and then it fucks my whole week up because I'm super fucking tired. So like for me, I've been setting alarms for like 7 o'clock, 7:30 on the weekends and shit. Yeah,
I remember when I was doing labor, we had to drive like 3 hours pretty much. We had to drive so far. So I was getting up at like 4:35. And I mean, I wasn't driving. I could sleep, kind of. I can't really sleep in cars, but I'd nap a little bit here and there, get out for smoke breaks and stuff. But whenever we'd stop, I'd run out, go to a gas station. You see me running towards the road for a smoke. But it's the labor life. But like, yeah, it was the same thing. Where like a week or two into it, I'd just be like, I'd be out of buddies, and it's like Saturday, and it's like 8, and I'm just like falling asleep. Like Deagin, you're dead. Like, get some coffee and get some beer into you, wake up. And it's like, in my mind, I gotta wake up so early on Monday. I'm gonna go home at 9, and then it'd be like 9 o'clock, and I'm conked out. Like, the best sleep ever.
Yeah, and it takes away from the scape grinds.
Yep. Yeah, anyways, what about, that's pretty much it for me. Nothing else. But, what about, your week?
My week has also been pretty eventful. I actually made some lists. I try to jot it all down as it was going on, because there's a lot of the time I'll forget what I did, and then after we record the episode, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did this and this as well. But nothing too important. But let me just pull up my little notebook here. First thing of my week, last week, pretty much right after we were done with our episode from last week, I went and, if I can, whenever I'm doing Slayer and I'm able to kill the monsters within Zaya Catacombs, I almost always do. Unless maybe I can cannon them somewhere else, I might choose that instead. But one thing I like about the Zaya Catacombs is, one, it's all multi, so you're able to basically AFK. Like, I'll click on like 7 different dudes, and then I'll just like not pay attention and look back and got a bunch of them killed. And also is they're all like a little bit stronger than the normal version of them, and they have a very small chance of dropping dark totem pieces as well as arcane shards. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The shards. So yeah, you get these shards, and if you have the dark light, you're able to infuse 3 shards into the dark light to make an arc light. And the arc light becomes stronger than an abyssal tentacle when you're facing against demons. Yep. So that makes it pretty damn good. And also, if you're training strength, you don't got to use your Sarah sword or abyssal dagger or whatever. You can just use the arc light, because it's probably one of the best for killing the demons and training strength, right? It's one-handed and everything, so it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a small chance of getting dark totem pieces, and very small chance, but you're able to get 3 of them. You combine the 3 of them, and then it allows you to go and fight a boss. I think it's called they call it a demi-boss, but it's you can only solo it, and it's instant. So if you die, you lose your shit. Mm-hmm. So I decided to kill it. I got my totem pieces, and I went there to kill it, and guess what I got?
What?
I got the pet, the Scatizo pet.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, my heart just dropped. I was, so excited. And I haven't got that feeling on RuneScape in so long.
Yeah.
Where, you're just killing a boss, then all of a sudden you just see a little text pop up, and you're just, you get the butterflies. It feels like you're going down a hill on a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Funny feeling you're being followed, and you're like, did you have the, the initial, oh, fuck yes, you're really excited, but then 10 minutes later, you see the pet and you get excited again?
Well, sort of. So, I saw that, and I was like, oh my god, it's happened. And then I put on the Discord, finally it happened. And I think you pointed out that I only had 6 kill count.
Still.
So, no, but what I was saying was oh my god, it finally happened, where I got a drop where I was like,
yeah.
I gotta go to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. But, it felt really great. So, first thing you want to do is spend 500,000 GP and get it insured, so that if you ever die while you have it, you don't permanently lose it. You just have to pay another 1 mil to get the pet back.
Yeah.
So, quite quickly, teleport to Artie, and, I run to the pet place, and then all of a sudden, there's nothing following me. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's stuck somewhere, so I wait, nothing. I start freaking out, what happened? I didn't lose it, did I? I don't think I lost it. So I would go and I'd click it, hey, these are the pets that you're able to claim, and there's nothing. It's just oh no, you don't have any pets. And I'm like, so I talk to them, can I insure my pet? And they're like, yes, but you need a pet to insure. I'm like, oh my god, my heart dropped. Did I just fucking lose the pet? Because basically before I teleported to Artie, I teleported to my player-owned house. And I was like, oh my god, when I did that, was I supposed to have done something else? Like, picked it up maybe, and like, now I lost the pet, so I went back to my house, it's not there. I look at my bank, it's not there. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm starting to panic. And I look up on, I do a quick Google, couldn't really find anything, but then finally I come across this Reddit thread, and when you get a pet from an instance area, sometimes it lags when you teleport. You just have to log in and log out, and then it'll pop up next to you. So I logged in, logged out, and there it was. But like literally, it went from like I almost had like 2 heart attacks in a row because I'm like, I just fucking lost it. Oh my god, I just lost it. This is bullshit. Ugh, what did I, like, classic. This is classic. But no, we got it. I got it insured, and now I have the pet, and it's a cool looking pet. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the cooler ones. Like,
it's, now I don't know how rare it is to actually get, because
it's like a 1 in 60 or something.
It's 1 in 65. So that's pretty low when it comes to bossing, because most of them are like 1 in 5,000 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Although, I was trying to read, like, okay, how rare is this pet? How many people have it compared to the other ones? And then it's kind of hard to find, because to get the totem pieces, it's pretty fucking hard. And I was watching some math things, and people are like, you should, like, it should average out to about 12 million Slayer experience until you get the pet.
Damn.
So I got pretty fucking lucky. I was like,
and on top of
damn
that,
you, RNGesus, you finally blessing me.
And on top of that, I've done this before. I bank my totem pieces, not realizing I have a full totem just in multiple pieces. And then I do like 20 tasks. I'm like, why haven't I gotten one? And then I realize I don't have an actual totem made, and you're not going to get duplicates of pieces. But yeah, getting Skatizo is kind of rare.
Yeah, it was,
kind of. It's pretty rare in terms of like adding all the RNG from all the drops that you have to get. And
yeah, it's a weird pet, because 1 in 65, not too bad to get, but at the same time, to get the totem pieces is actually pretty hard.
Yeah,
like I said, I only had 6 kills and shit, but yeah, felt good. And now I'm pretty much rocking it everywhere. I have a feeling I'm gonna end up bringing it to the wilderness by accident and dying and losing it, because that's just, I do that all the time.
I haven't even insured my Kraken. It just sits in my bank, just takes up a bank spot. Because, like, I saw on the subreddit, like, a couple months ago of a hardcore Iron Man showing that he got a pet drop, and then his pet was gone, and people were saying how there's a bug that can happen. Sometimes when you teleport, your pet just disappears. So to
Forever?
always pick up... Yeah, so to always pick up your pet.
Oh my god, that sounds bullshit. No, there's no way that could happen.
I remember reading that, and someone saying, that's why I always pick up my pets, and I'll only, like, leave them when I'm, like, AFK skilling something, and I'm not teleporting around. And, even if it was bad information, which, like, it was probably just relog, and it was there. He probably had that issue. I'm still, like, just paranoid of it just disappearing, and so I just kind of keep it in my bank.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough, but, oh, no, I rock that thing everywhere, because I'm so happy. I'm so proud of it, too.
Yeah.
And,
it's a fucking sick pet, but yeah. Congrats.
Dude, RNGesus was blessing me that day, because once I was finished, I went back, killed some Abbey demons, because that's what I was currently doing. Fucking, I get a whip in the same task.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. And, like, that was my first Abbey demon task, and, yeah, it felt great. So, yeah, I was doing some Slayer, and I think I'm at, like, 84 attack now. I don't really give updates on my attack, but I've been training my attack since I got 99 strength, which... been leveling fairly fast. I'm at 84 attack right now, and I'm at 86 Slayer. So we're getting there. We're making some progress.
Yeah, dude.
I also wanted to try, since I've been doing a lot of Slayer, I wanted to try out the Wilderness Slayer, because I was like, I'm getting kind of bored of the same tasks, or getting kind of bored of just whatever, AFKing in the catacombs or cannoning somewhere, whatever it is. So let's go try it in the Wilderness. Maybe it'll be a little bit more exciting. So I decided to I got Ice Giants as my first task, which I was like, this is going to be kind of boring, but I don't know, we'll see. And I decided to, like, be ready for if somebody PKs me. I want to try to bait someone into PKing me so I could fight back and maybe get a kill.
Just, I would look up the multi-zones.
True. I just went to the Ice Plateau area. You can teleport to Gorok, and it basically brings you right outside there. And I was just killing guys there for a bit, and then, I was, like, hopping worlds and shit, hoping to find a more populated world with, like, PKers being like, get him! And then I could, like, turn around and maybe get a kill. Because I told you, before when I got PK'd, I ended up teleporting back with my DDS, and I brought Vengeance, and I got a kill. I got like 300k, which was it was good.
Go to a bounty hunting world.
Yeah, so I was doing that as well, and no, nothing really. But I was seeing other people killing ice giants for Slayer. So after I got that task finished, I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can kill some people doing the Slayer. And I actually found some guy in a PvP world. 'Cause I'm like, you know what? A PvP world, people probably feel so safe there.
Yeah.
So I see a guy, and he's like AFK basically. And I run up, DDS spec him 3 times, and then he starts eating. I didn't even kill him with 3 DDS specs. But I bring him down, almost killed him, but then he puts on prayer, and then he starts eating, and then he goes, oh, you fucker. And then he runs away, and as I'm chasing him, there's another PKer there, and he fucking basically just KOs me like instantly. And I was like, oh god, that's so embarrassing.
Damn.
God damn. You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, I'm so bad. But that's when I realized I should get my ranged up, because that's pretty goddamn useful in the wilderness.
Oh, if you're deep worldy PKing, you like tri-Bridding or bringing range melee or something is so nice.
Yeah, see, I'm normally sticking with mage and melee, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even that works, yeah.
Not for me. Yeah, so I died, lost a bunch of shit there. And I decided, so I've been building up my house since about January, and I'm making pretty good progress. Well, I was making pretty big progress, but I kind of slowed down just because, I don't know, I don't really feel like spending the money and shit like that. But if you remember me talking about it before, trying to get the stews and stuff, I killed like a shit ton of cats of mine while I was trying to get the stews.
Yep.
To get the stews, it's part of the recipe for disaster quest. You kill some hell rats. They have a chance of dropping some stews. But once you have a normal cat or an overgrown cat, you can put them in these like a 1v1 fight against a behemoth rat, it's called. And once it kills a rat, you 100% get a 4-dose spice thing, right? So I'm going for the oranges. And if you're just trying to get it out of luck from the mini rats, it sucks. And anyone who's done it, you know how much it sucks, just for the quest itself.
Yeah.
All you have to do is stand there and feed it food to keep it alive, because if it gets killed, it gets killed. And it's really easy to get it killed, because if you just look away, it has like 10 health, so if you look away for like 5 seconds and look back, the rat might have just comboed it like 3 hits in a row and killed it or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really inconsistent. So... in between building my building my house and doing whatever the hell else I want to do, I almost always have a kitten with me that I'm like feeding it and trying to grow up so I can like stash it in my bank and have like a stock of just cats that I can use, because
just in case.
It takes 4 hours or so to grow the cat. So if you only have the one cat and it dies, like you're okay, I guess I got to do something else for 4 hours before I can even go back to getting the stews.
Yeah.
I should quickly say why I'm getting the stews in case you don't know, but the stews have a chance of giving you a -5 to the stews have a chance of giving you a -5 to a +5 in a stat. So for me, construction, it's like the best boost for like any skill and shit like that. So you don't really necessarily have to level up your construction too much. Well, like not as much as you would normally have to, because you can use that, get the 5 levels. But the problem is it's really hard to predict if you're going to get the boost, because you could get anywhere in between a -5 and a +5.
Yeah. I mean, with the crystal saw, if it's something that you have to use a saw for, it's a free +5, and then you can +5 stew boost on top of it for a +10, and it's
actually a +8 because the saw gives you 3.
Oh, true. Really? Just 3?
Yeah, so that's what I needed, I needed the 5 because I needed the +8 boost. Yeah, so I was able to save up, like, I had 4 cats in my bank, and then after I died in the wilderness, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of having to go to someone else's house to get my lunars, because right now my altar only gives me ancient magics or standard. I'm like, you know what? Let's just get all the magic so I can just keep using my house for almost everything. I can use it for a lot of things. The only thing I can't do is changing it to lunars.
Yeah.
So I decided to go get some stews, and man, I'm so bad at this game. I think I killed like 4 rats, and in that time, I killed all of my cats. That kind of rhymed too.
You killed all your cats?
In like half an hour.
How?
So the first one, I killed like 2 of them, and then I ran out of food to feed it, and it was in the fight, and I was like, oh no, it's gonna die. and it died. And then I found out if you walked away, I think the cat would have came with you. You could save the cat almost, pull him out, but I didn't know you could pull him out. So it died because I ran out of food. But that one I was like, okay, he's gonna die, no problem. I got 3 more left. Second one, same kind of problem. I ran out of food again, but I was like, you know what? I still got 2 more. It's fine. I'll just be more safe the next time. The third one, I think I was watching a YouTube video, and I must have looked away for a second, and it died. And then the fourth one, this one really pissed me off because I was like, okay, now I'm going to watch this 100%. Like, I'm not going to look away for anything. And I don't even know what happened. I think maybe I got a text message on my phone. I looked down and then I looked back up and it's like, your cat has passed away. And I got so mad.
Damn, dude.
I snapped, man. I was you know how frustrating that is?
Kind of, but not really at the same time.
It's just, I'm terrible at this game. So then I was like, you know what? I need to blow off some steam. I'm pretty stressed out right now. Maybe I'll go PKing in Edgeville. You know what I mean? Just do some Edgeville PKing, have some fun. Even if I die, not a big deal. It's just for fun, right? You lose like a couple $100K, not a big deal.
Yep.
So the weapon I bring is an Abyssal Tentacle. And a few times I've lost. Yeah. A few times I've lost in the past because I didn't have my protect item on. You've told me, you know, always keep it on now, even if you're just standing there. So I do that. I just keep it on. I bring 3 prayer potions with me, and I sip them if I can't find a fight. But I always have it on. And I find a fight, and me and the guy going back and forth, you know, 1v1, no big deal. We're not using smite either, so I'm not too worried. But I still have protect item on because, of course, you don't want to lose it anyways. So, yeah, we're having the 1v1, and as I'm going, I don't know if I was this, because this guy wasn't my target. I was in the bounty world, so I don't know if I was someone else's target, but I get fucking PJ'd in the middle of the fight, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fight it out just a little bit. Once I run out of food, I'll just leave. The guy turns on smite. Armadillo specs me for like a 71. Fucking drains all my prayer, and I die obviously, and boom, there goes my Abyssal Tentacle.
Damn.
And I slapped myself in the face because I was like, why didn't I just teleport the second he attacked me? Because I fought him for like maybe 10 seconds because I was like, maybe I'll get lucky with a vengeance and a whip hit, and maybe I can spec him with my DDS and get lucky. But really, I was at a disadvantage because I had like no spec bar. I had maybe 25% left. So then I died and lost that, literally my first fight. And I didn't go back into the wilderness that day.
Man, you should stick with the D-Sim for now until you stop getting smited out.
I get kills sometimes. That's the problem. Like, I'll get some kills every now and then. I'm like, yeah, here we go. And then I lose the whip to just some stupid goddamn reason. One of them was because I was scald and some guy just came and rushed me. And I didn't have the protect item on. And another time, I think I just forgot to turn protect item on in the fight. Because I died, and I was like, what the fuck? Because we weren't even smite fighting. And I was like, where the hell's my whip? And it was gone. And then I think it's happened even one more time since, but I can't remember how that one happened. But yeah, and then this time here where I get smited out, so...
Well, on the plus side, you got that whip from Slayer, so... It evens out?
Sort of. I mean...
Evens out from that one?
You lose like 100K for the Kraken Tentacle, right?
Yeah.
Or however much that is. So, yeah, that was a lot of ups and downs this week. But what can you do?
Yeah, that'll happen.
But, yeah, last week I was saying I was going to tell you guys how a little nifty merchanting trick. I don't know if it's a trick, but it's an item that I've been merchanting, flipping on the GE. And I almost feel like I shouldn't reveal this, but I don't feel like flipping it anymore. It's kind of... I find merching a little bit tedious.
Oh, yeah. 100% tedious.
I'm always having to make a trip to the bank to, like, take out the items I bought and put them back on to sell. And, like, sometimes I just don't want to think about it. It's nice if I put it on and then, I stop playing and then I come back the next day and, oh, look at this. It's all sold and everything like that. But...
Yeah,
I don't know. And I don't even flip that much, so I might tell you this, and you might be like, dude, that's pretty shitty profit, but, you do you. Yeah, the item that I was flipping, I was making what seemed like a good profit was raw chompy meat.
It's a quest item, isn't it? I think that's why
I don't know. I know you can use it to make some type of pie, and the pie doesn't seem too good itself, but like, I don't know if it's good cooking experience or what, but I'm going to look it up real quick right now. So a cooked chompy sells for 15 GP, while a raw chompy is right now going for 2.5K. Right? So don't cook those chompies.
Yeah.
You're missing out on big profit. So yeah, the way I've been flipping it, and like, because I would buy them for 2.3K, and then I'd sell them for 3,000, and they were selling like, wasn't that much of it, like wasn't too hard to sell it. So you make about 700 GP per sell, but you know what I mean? Like I'd flip like, I remember buying like I put up 1,000 to buy, and then I would just sell them like 100 intervals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it ended up being a pretty penny. Does that sound like a good thing to flip?
It can
700
work, yeah.
GP
I mean,
markup?
You can flip anything as long as there's not that much competition. Like what I did for a while, like 2-3 weeks maybe, while I was grinding, what was I grinding at? I was doing 99 fletching. What I was doing was I was going to, the night, the initiate night or whatever in the Fowler Garden, and I was buying proselyte sets. Let's say I bought them for 25K or 20, like I forget. Let me actually double check, because I know what I sold them for. Okay, yeah, so I would buy them for 25K, and I would sell them between 30 and 35K each.
Okay.
So I'd buy like 100 or something at a time, and I would just sell them for like literally like between 5 to 10K like markup. And I was like able to flip them like pretty well. But the second one person joined in with me, like within an hour, you'd be making like 100 GP off of it. Like it was annoying. Like, and I knew it would be one person, because like one would buy, you know what I mean? Like someone would buy one, and just to kind of figure out the price, and then like, oh fuck. And now I'm not selling them for like an hour because he's got like even more than I do. It's like nonstop kind of merching on each other. I find like one person kind of fucks up the whole thing. But I made like a shit ton of money doing that. I did it during 99 fletching, and when I NMZ'd a lot back in the day, like that's putting a date on it, like a while ago. I made a lot of money off that, but I haven't done it in a while because every time I do try, it seems like more people have been flipping it.
Yeah, okay.
There's like random things like that. You get like same thing with the chompy bird meat. You just have to find lazy people.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you find lazy people and you make a lot of money, because shit, whenever I'm buying something, unless it's like I don't need it, I need this for like for a week from now, then I'll put in like a lower price. But if I want something like, you know, I need sharks, I'll hit the 5% like 6 times and just hit okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way. And like with the chompy birds, like the raw meat, I'm just looking at it because they sell between like 50 to 200 are being traded a day, which isn't much at all, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm looking, and it almost seems like when I was merching, you can almost see the spike ups, because it's just like there's one day where it's like a quantity of 1,000 was bought, and I was like, oh, that was around the same time that I was merching them and stuff like that. So that's the problem, though. As soon as another person might even join in, that might fuck the whole thing up. But it seems like it's a good item to have in there, because somebody might be like, oh, I'm going to train my, you know, cooking with making pies, or for whatever. I'm going to make some pies and use it for this or whatever it is, right? So then they're just, do it like you. They don't give a fuck if they're spending 3,000 for a raw chompy.
Yeah.
So, and I know in the past, I tried merchanting god sets, like god armor sets, so like full Zammy and shit like that, which worked pretty well because it's also a free-to-play item, so. And I know flipping itself, it's pretty good for it's one of the probably the better ways to make money as a free-to-play.
Yeah, that's like that's the best way to make money.
Yeah, like if you want a bond, like you're crazy if you're just gonna wood chop use for that money. You might as well be merchanting on the side.
Like you could be wood chopping and flipping at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, like even grinding out Oberg keys. I don't know how much the club is, but that is like the second most profitable boss I've ever. Like I got like day one, I got the club.
Yeah,
I made
that's
like
good.
5 or something mil off the club.
It sells for about 1 mil at the moment.
Yeah, so that's easy, but obviously that's a pretty high chance to get. Like it's pretty.
But even
rare.
still, Obor, the hill giant boss itself, you're gonna get at least 50k per kill. I mean, maybe not at least 50k, but it drops pretty good for non-members.
Yeah, on when I was doing like my free to play account for fun, my whole strategy was like get 50 magic and then use like the lowest level bind because that's all you can use in free to play, and then pray range. You know, I pretty much got 40 range and like 50 magic, and I was going even on the runes and the bones. Like I wasn't missing out killing the hill giants, and I got like the range or the prayer protect range, and all I do is I'd protect from range, like freeze him, and then I would just run around him in circles and kill him. And I walked out with like some decent cash. Like, I was pretty happy with the whole process. I had like 20 keys or something saved up to do it.
Yeah, especially compared to like, what else you're gonna kill as a non-members.
Yeah.
Lesser demons. Hope for that rune medium helmet. Woo, 10k baby.
I do think your best way, it used to be buying death runes and then flipping as well. You could flip runes. Flipping runes in general is pretty good, but there's so many bots doing it. But on my free-to-play account, my majority of my money was, Obor, I guess. I mean, like, for that, day stint where I just did it for the day. But, was flipping or buying and selling runes and then just flipping random items too. And I should probably see how much money I have on that account. I think I have close to $1 million and I'm like level... like 40 or 50. So it's pretty easy. You just the main thing with RuneScape that a lot of people don't get is like making money. Like, okay, kind of ironic because a couple days ago I got an 18 mil drop, but keep in mind I had to invest 45 mil on a shield, even though I got I sold it afterwards, I got the money back, and I had to do like 570 kills on the boss. But in general, like, making money is just being consistent, like doing your daily herb runs, like planning, like at least trying to do like one snapdragon or Renar seed like farming run a day, doing your herb and your battle staves, and then just like being smart with your money, like consistently. Like if you're just like good on making little amounts of money, like passive money, and just like being smart with your money in general, then like eventually you're gonna just have no issues with money. Like I did that over the course of a while. I sold my Bandos Tacits because I was like looking up the numbers, and it's like, is it really worth, I bought them for 20 mil, sold them for 25 mil.
Damn, that's not bad.
Yeah, it was a nice very long-term flip, like a 1.5 long-term flip, but I used it the whole time, right? I got my money's worth. Buying my SGS, so I always have a spec weapon that's really good, and it saves money on potions and food. Like, just overall being smart with your money and being consistent at least. Like, you can be the richest guy just by cutting use the whole time and flipping. It's not hard making money in RuneScape, especially because everyone's lazy. So it's
that's the problem. And if you got the cash, just go buy bonds. Who gives a shit?
That's true. I guess. I'm too, I like grinding too much.
No, yeah, I feel that.
Like, it was such a nice feeling finally buying that Dragon Warhammer, and now I'm like scared. I'm scared someone's gonna hack my account now, because then I'm like standing at Chambers of Xeric right now, holding like 112 mil, and it's like, fuck. It may not be the most, and
your
like,
account's gonna be flagged in the black market.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bank pin and shit, but like, that would be a pretty big hit. That's like half my bank I just have wearing on my character.
You're gonna get some Russian ransomware that's gonna be like, if you want your RuneScape account back, you have to give us like $3,000 worth of iTunes gift cards.
Yeah, fuck that. They can have my account then. I'm gonna give them $3,000.
That was my week right there. But you want to tell us what's going on in the RuneScape world?
Yeah, so nothing too big in terms of talking about it. Anyways, so the main thing that there was the Wilderness Wars, which happened this past weekend. Yeah. Sadly, I totally missed it.
Oh no.
Yeah. But
dude, you missed some epic action going down.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
It wasn't too bad. I was watching it. There's a few times I dozed off just because, it went on for like an hour or so. It went on for a while, but yeah, let's go over some of the changes that they're talking about doing.
Yeah, so they moved one of the bosses to ensure like equal distance between all armies, just kind of for balance thing. The boss is also too close to another boss, the Vedian.
Sure.
The Graveyard of Shadows has multiple entrances now on the north and south side. So it used to be just east and west, but now it's, all directions.
Yeah, okay.
Just for balance for the, teams, I guess. Every 10 minutes there'll be a fog kind of coming in. So you get caught in the fog, you'll be dead. Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of a moot point to be mentioning those because it all just happened, but they changed that right before the tournaments. They added little changes there, so that was interesting to see. You want to go over, I guess we'll go over the Wilderness Wars real quick.
Yep.
So yeah, I was able to watch it, and I made some notes as I was watching it because it's kind of a lot was going on, and it was kind of hard to keep track of what the fuck was happening, and it's also hard in general just to know what was going on with each team. I feel like they could have done a better job so that you could identify who was a part of what team. Like, you had the capes, but like, still I was watching it and sometimes I was like, who's fighting who? What's going on here? But a lot of what you saw was the generals. They'd be wearing almost full defensive gear with the bulwark shield and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
They weren't really necessarily getting into the fight. They were more like on the sidelines. At least from what I was seeing, a lot of them were on the sidelines. Some people were even hiding away from the fights, and they'd have like 3 or 4 bodyguards just staying with them.
Yeah.
And you saw like people trying to go for the bosses right away. And, you had Callisto and Venenatus. So what I had is like I said, it was really hard to see what was going on because you're kind of at the mercy of the people controlling the view for the tournament. So like I said, you have 5 teams going on, so it's kind of hard to tell when 2 fights are happening. There's somebody fighting a boss over there doing something, but I hope I'm not mistaken. But I have it written down here. Bodhi was able to get the first Callisto kill, which gave him an armor upgrade. That came on later on in the fight, but it seemed like people would try to fight it and then be like, fuck, this is kind of taking long. Let's get him chunked down to like half health and we'll come back and finish it. Or maybe someone else will end up trying to finish it and we'll get the upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Which I believe that actually happened at one point. Because Torvesta's team was facing Venenatus. Wait. No, Venenatus isn't even in it. Vetion. Right? Wait, what are the 2 bosses?
Callisto and Vedian?
Yeah, Vedian. I don't know why I have Venenatus here, but yeah, he went for that fight. He went for that boss and got it down to half health, and I think somebody else went and finished it off, and they got the upgrade afterwards. Like I said,
no way.
I hope I'm not getting that wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure that happened. But
all right,
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, you had Jesus Christ. As soon as somebody got the upgrade, though, you saw a huge advantage for that team. Like, it was a major advantage. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, so as the fight was going on, Sickner was the first one to be dead, first one to get killed. And then after that came Knightinator, second one to die. MMORPG was the third. Torvesta was the 4th dead, and then Bodhi wins, okay? Bodhi was the one who won that one. Mm-hmm. And you could just tell, though, watching the scores, like, Bodhi's team had a huge advantage in numbers compared to the other players and the other teams. So, like, halfway through the fight, I think even the casters even said, it looks like Bodhi's going to win this one. Because, like, they just had double the amount of players, basically. So that happened. Bodhi was the winner. So I'm going to play the interview that Bodhi gave after he had won the Wilderness Wars tournament. So here it is.
Oh, you've run to us. Hello. Welcome back.
Sorry, we were so engaged looking at Adam's screen here. He was just telling us about how he hasn't actually gone below 100 health during this during the entire tournament. He didn't drop below 100 health. Obviously, we saw your initial strategy, Adam, was to go straight for the boss, try and get that gear upgrade. You decided to leave it for a bit and then come back to it later. How significant do you think that gear upgrade was?
Well, the actual start one, the first boss that we went for, we actually got hit by, I think it was Torves's team from the north. So they actually had positioning where the boss was to their west and we were to the east, so we couldn't get to the boss. But they could just pick the boss off while holding the position, basically. So they, I think, did about 60% damage to the boss, then ran off. We finished it off, so they got a free gear upgrade on us, and we were just sat there like that was the biggest mistake. We think another team, for the other boss that we killed, we think they must have lowered the health down, but the boss has a super fast regen on the health, left it alone, thinking they'll get the gear upgrade at some point, so I don't think anyone would have left that alone for that long.
Yeah.
And then we took that out and we all just upgraded to ARAMs. We had 40 plus people left. We had people watching the stream so we could see how many people were left on the other teams. We didn't know where they were, obviously, but we were sat there with like 45 people alive with just barrows and we were just chilling.
That's awesome. Obviously, you're walking away with $5,000 today. Is that how are you spending that money? What's it going towards? What's next?
All in on black, they're asking me to do, so we have to find out what goes on there. Yeah, because I need to work out what's going on with the splits on the actual general kills as well. But realistically, no. Yeah, we got 2 general kills, and we won the game as well. So we got all of that, and we need to work out. Because I only technically won because the team did it, so I'm going to be splitting it as fairly as possible. And then I might take a small amount off each person, but give a bit more to the people who actually organised the whole team. Because I didn't really do any effort. I just said, yo, make me a team, let's go win. And then they made the team, so I feel like they deserve a little extra. But other than that, everything will be split as fair as possible.
That's a nice thing to do, to be fair. That's a really good way to split the money. I respect that.
Otherwise, favourite moments in this tournament? Things that you might change next time, different strategies if this does happen again?
Well, it's hard to say, but I'd say the boss actually died a lot faster than we expected it to when we did get on that, especially the Callisto one. So we ran down to take position and we were holding the boss for about 5 minutes to work out if any other team was going to hit the boss, see how powerful the boss was, and maybe hit the team when they were also being engaged by the boss. So then obviously we got hit from the north, and that took that strategy out, and then they got the advantage from there. So that was a mistake from us. But obviously we just kept a bit on the down low and just moved around slowly, not engaging any fights, because we knew there was a team out there that were more powerful than us. And then I think another team must have made a big mistake on not killing the other boss, because we just went and got that. And then we had the best gear in the game, we had the best armor in the game, and then we had the most players, so...
Yeah, I mean, obviously you had the most players. Even around the start, like the first 10 minutes, you guys had the most players still, around 48, 49 players. Would you say that any other general managed to kill the boss that you didn't get that armor upgrade? Do you think they would have had a much, much higher chance of taking it, even with your number advantage?
Well, I don't actually know what team went to hit that one, but whoever did, I'm pretty sure they did 60-70% damage and left it for someone else to go finish off, so they'd randomly gear upgrade, and then I'm going to guess they just hid away and waited for that to happen. Again, the whole thing would be butterfly effect, though. If they had that gear upgrade, they have the confidence, they know they're stacked, they could just go and hit everybody, and they could just piled in, their damage is higher, I could have got killed. But because we had it, we just played position carefully, moved around slowly, and knew that if any team hit us, we were stronger by default, because everyone has matched stats, and we had the better gear.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the $10,000 in combined for your team. Any last words? Anything you want to leave this with?
As always, finish PK as best PKers.
Congratulations again, Adam.
Congratulations, Adam. Well played.
So yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's a little winning interview afterwards. I hope you guys got something from that. If you missed it, maybe you can understand, his little technique and stuff. And
yeah, it was a good little... he kind of sums it up pretty well.
Yeah, which was great. And yeah, as you can tell, we're able, as I've been upgrading our equipment, I wanted to say this before, but I kind of forgot, so I'm going to throw it in now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys can tell, we've been upgrading our equipment for the podcast in itself. And we're able to hopefully give you guys clips like that now, because I can kind of set up a soundboard and play it live over the actual recording and stuff like that. So that was really cool. I also have here some of the shout calling from some of the teams while it was going on. You want to hear that as well?
Of course.
Okay, so this is right after when a team was about to die and they weren't doing so well. Let me play it.
Das war ein Befehl!
Oh.
Der Angriff steigert war...
Oh, sorry, no, that was the wrong one.
Oh, damn.
I don't think I actually have it.
Yeah, that
wasn't supposed to happen. Anyways, yeah, so that was the actual Wilderness tournament itself. There's a few changes they talk about that they want to do for next time. Yeah, some of the things that they've kind of noticed immediately after the event, they said basically was the boss balances, like how strong it is, how much health it has, how much damage it can do, I guess. Because, it wasn't really much of a threat to some of the people.
Yeah.
I was expecting the mechanics to be a bit more, but it seemed like the bosses itself were just doing their normal attacks. And maybe the attacks were scaled up a bit more, I don't really know, but yeah, so boss balances, then they want to balance the rewards a little bit better. And the interface itself, they say they want to upgrade that one, because the only interface they had basically was just like, here are the teams, here are the amount of people on the actual team. So that's something that they want to do for next time. Yeah, I think that's basically it for the Wilderness Wars. It was a pretty fun event. You know, it wasn't too serious. It was kind of more playful, you can kind of tell. More laid back, I should say. Yeah, you want to... With that, they dropped some more announcements moving forward. Do you want to bring us to that?
Yeah, sure. So, RuneScape Big Brother. Pretty much. I don't know how else to phrase it. So it's called Dead Man Mansions. So...
Ooh.
For a week, they're going to have, I guess, some streams, I guess.
So here's the problem, actually, they went into. So during RuneFest, the streamers almost always come to, you know, where RuneFest is being located, and they don't always have the equipment to stream. They can't bring their personal computers with them.
Yeah.
Maybe a laptop or something, but you know what I mean? The setup's just way too big to bring to a hotel room. So this is how, you know, Jagex is able to allow the streamers to continue streaming while they come for RuneFest. They don't have to, like, you know, stop production on their streams and stuff. So, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so for a week leading up to, I guess, the autumn invitationals for Deadman mode, they'll have like 10 of their streamers in 2 mansions, and they kind of just, you know, they let them stream throughout the week.
Yeah, okay.
The 2 teams will have like daily challenges both inside and outside the game.
Alright,
and once completed, you know, the winners will get awarded with points, and at the end, the team with the least amount of points have to spin like a wheel called the Wheel of Forfeits.
Ooh, that sounds like the Squeal of Fortune.
Yeah. You know, segueing some RS3 into our community. But anyways,
hell yeah.
These forfeits, I guess the things that will be on the wheel, will be pulled on the Twitter, on Reddit, and RuneScape forums every day. And so we kind of get to choose the fate of the losing team.
Okay.
And they're being sponsored by Asus, so the European or the UK company. Well, the UK. Let me rephrase that. Let me say that again. Hold on. And they're being sponsored by Asus UK. So yeah, it's pretty nice. They're gonna hopefully have some nice PCs and stuff.
I think my monitors are from them.
Yeah, both mine are. They make some quality monitors.
All right, cool. Damn. Look at that.
Yeah. So, the 2 teams, so Team LUL, the captain will be...
about right.
Yeah, LUL, nice meme, but, yeah, so the captain is Foe, and on that team, it'll be Alfie, Rakesi, I don't know who that is, Sick Nerd, and Torvesta.
Cool.
And on Team CBS, and that stands for Carried by Soup, it'll be... Bodhi will be the captain, and they'll be Framed, Manked Up Mage, MMORPGS, and Soup.
Cool. Okay.
Soup
not
is
bad.
Soup's also known as Third Age Film on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So, it's kind of cool. Some big YouTubers and streamers getting them together.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting our own reality TV, so...
Yeah,
man, when are we going to be getting Scape TV, the television channel?
I have no idea.
We can just turn it on and it'll be just RuneScape playing. 'Cause in Korea, they have that for fucking StarCraft, right?
Yep. StarCraft is massive there.
Yeah, I want my own RuneScape channel. That'd be...
What we
cool.
have to do is we gotta make a little mixtape, and we just gotta send it to the Jagex mods, you know? We gotta get it on this. They're pushing, you know...
Then what's next is they're going to have, you know, RuneScape cribs where they can come check out your own player-owned houses.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say real houses.
Nobody cares about the real houses.
Come see my epic battle station. I can play 4 RuneScape accounts at the same time. It'll be sweet. Look at this. I actually have my microwave in reaching distance of my computer, but that's a coincidence to not set up. I didn't do that on purpose. Same with my coffee machine though, and my toaster. But that's just because of the space I'm given. I swear I don't set it up for RuneScape sessions. I'm not implying that I don't leave my chair for hours and hours playing RuneScape.
Got a bucket underneath to shit in?
Well, allegedly I have it, you know, stapled to the bottom of my chair, and I have a hole cut out in my chair, but...
Oh, so you're just using the toilet as a seat.
Well, I made a toilet pretty much. But
I remember going over to a buddy's house, and this was when he was big into World of Warcraft at the time. I think I would stay up. I'd stay over once, and he'd be up until like 6 a.m. on fucking Ventrilo, talking to his team, doing some raid. But I remember going over once, and he had a fucking piss bottle. I'm like, dude,
piss jugs, man.
You got a piss jug. And he's like, yeah, I can't really stop the raid to go to the bathroom. I'm like, you got a fucking washroom attached to your bedroom. It's like 2 feet.
Yeah, for real.
Christ, but yeah, dedication there.
Thankfully, I've never had to do that. I just go, I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm not an animal, and I'm going to use my toilet, but...
Well, if you ever want to just feel like an animal, just come to a construction site, because you go there, and all the trades are like, bathrooms? What's the difference between a bathroom and a fucking bottle? I'll just piss in this bottle.
Hey, there's a garbage bag full of leaves. I'll take a shit in that.
Oh, there's some insulation. I can use that as toilet paper. Ooh, don't do that.
Drywall is baby powder, and you're set.
Oh God. But yeah. Anyways, back to the Dead Man Mansions. If you can't tell, there's going to be a tournament for RuneFest. So obviously, they want to give the streamers being able to grind out their stats because you got to no life that shit.
Yeah.
What better way to do it when you have 2 houses dedicated to it?
Yeah, for real. I do want to say. I do want to say I really do like how Jagex is pushing their personalities and their, like, streamers. They're, like, really giving them, like, a platform to, like, get bigger on.
Yeah.
Because even, like, before they started really focusing on streamers, like, you got a friend for YouTube, you have Bodhi and Foe, and I guess Sick Nerd, kind of, for like, live streams. But Bodhi really does take all the numbers, and they used to have Ice Poseidon, but,
he got sucked into real life.
See, here's my theory, okay? Ice was pulling in like 10 to 20k viewers, like consistently. Like he was the biggest RS streamer out of nowhere because he just did quality streams, right?
Sure, it was pretty wacky.
And then he like transitioned to IRL section, and then like RuneScape lost a lot of like, pretty much free publicity.
Oh yeah.
And so my theory is that they don't want this to happen again because they like. He definitely brought in a lot, like, Ice Poseidon definitely brought in a lot of players, even if it was only temporarily, you know what I mean?
Sure.
If you're watching someone who's got 20,000 viewers, like, that's playing this game, like, what are the chances that, like, even 100 will make an account that day to just play, and even if they're gonna go there and kind of just mess with them in game, like, they might stick around, and...
Mm-hmm. Because, like, even with Ice Poseidon, he has a video. I think you're the one who showed me it, but it's him doing Deadman mode, and he calls upon his, like, purple army to come save him. If you've seen this video, you know what I'm talking about. It's a pretty funny video. And, my girlfriend, who doesn't play RuneScape, she couldn't even get off Tutorial Island. She likes that. She thinks that video is pretty funny. She doesn't even know what the hell's going on there. So, you know what I mean? It's, I can see where the appeal is in the free publicity.
Yeah, he, like, calls upon his viewers to come help him because he's getting attacked, and, like, hundreds of, like, level 3s, and people just make accounts, log on, and just, like, rush him, go to help. And it's really funny, but...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's good. I was worried, I mentioned this before, like, I'm like, I don't think RuneScape should try and be an esport. That's kind of what it came, like, last year when they first started, like, Deadman mode and all this stuff.
Right, yeah.
I felt like they were trying to make it into an esport, and they kind of did with, like, the tribe raiding tournaments, but, like, I like that more than Deadman mode, but I feel like they're just trying to come out with, like, entertainment now.
That's what, exactly.
Wilderness Wars, Deadman Mansion, the, other one I can't think of right now, before Wilderness Wars, what was that?
The PvP tournament?
Okay, it was the PvP tournament, alright. I thought of it, I just said it beforehand, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I think they're really just trying out some neat ideas. They're trying to just kind of have like an entertaining, like little platform. They want to make it more than, they're kind of changing it up. They're changing up like how game developers and game companies like interact with their community and
they know that like
I guess
they know that RuneScape can't for it to be an esport compared to like League of Legends or even let's say World of Warcraft's PvP scene. It's going to be very hard to get there and for it to get to respect because, there's a little bit of a stereotype with RuneScape when it comes to people who don't play RuneScape. Because if you don't play RuneScape but you play video games, good chance you know what RuneScape is.
Yeah.
They kind of notice that, so they're just like, I was kidding before about a RuneScape TV or RuneScape TV channel, but like that's, you know, in a sense, that's kind of what they're going for. They're coming out with all these different ideas, all these different events, not these serious PvP tournaments where you're just like, oh, go team, whatever. It's more on the it's something more fun. Like they're gonna have like you said, Big Brother, but with RuneScape streamers.
Yeah, and it's gonna be silly. There might be some cringe in it, but like it's what you make of it, right?
Yeah, that's part of the charm of RuneScape.
You just go in to like kind of have some fun and just like laugh at some silly shit because RuneScape, the game itself is so silly.
Oh yeah,
you take one step outside of Lumbridge where you first get to, like the first town you get to. You take like one step outside of the gates and there's like a dude in third age with a top hat and a cane walking around.
Yeah, and what's his name?
I have no idea.
Hate us cause you ain't us.
Okay,
or,
yeah.
So basically, hate us cause you ain't us.
Yeah.
That's the play on words.
They have one of the white knights named Ceramic Vase. Like Ceramic Vase. Like they just have, it's a silly fucking game, but like, it's good. They're like embracing it. They're just making it fun.
But yeah, so that's the upcoming Rune Fest, and we're excited. We're definitely, I paid attention to Rune Fest last year. I'm hopefully we'll be able to sit and watch the whole thing again.
Yeah.
So that's about it for the actual news, at least the news coming from the website. But have you been on the subreddit this week?
A little bit. Usually when I'm taking a dump or something, it's kind of when I go.
Yeah.
But
okay. It's been surprisingly wholesome. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Someone okay, it's gonna sound kind of lame, but like the 2007 Scape subreddit is like the only subreddit where I look at and like the memes like make me laugh. Like some of them are really bad, some of them are super repetitive, but like there's some that are just so stupid, like the upside down genie face and Neve face or whatever. There's Durdell or whoever. Like there's all the stupid memes and shit. I can always like look at least one picture and kind of just exhale out my nose. Just like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah, okay. Did you miss the memes this week?
There was one I was actually looking at today, I think, that was making me laugh. But pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so you missed... So, basically, there's been some issues going on with our brothers over at RuneScape 3. I don't know if you've been following this, but... Basically, somebody came over to the Oldschool subreddit and from RuneScape 3 and saying, we need your help, boys. As much as we shit on each other, we gotta put some things aside. So, our parents, Jagex, ain't treating them too nicely over there. Or I should say wasn't. RuneScape 3 is a lot older than Oldschool RuneScape is, because, it's been... RuneScape back in 2007 had to change to be where RuneScape 3 is now. So it's a completely different game almost. Lots of new sets of armor, but the way smithing and mining works is still essentially the same as it is in old school RuneScape. So to make your rune armor, you need 99, right? Basically, you need 99 to make rune plate and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And as you know, you only need 40 defense to wield rune armor. So it's kind of a weird way it worked out, but like that's because when smithing was first, made that way, it was back in like 2003, 2002 or something like that, like a long ass time ago, where like they didn't know if people were going to be able to get 99s, right? Mm-hmm. This is RuneScape classic days. And it got to the point that whoever got 99 smithing, or even just like 90 smithing, they had a monopoly on the rune market. The rune two-hander was the best item at the time in RuneScape Classic because, there was no different speeds of weapons. It was just strength and stuff. So the rune two-hander was selling for like 2 mil and stuff and shit like that. Because the only way to get it was, a lot of the rune armors, the only way to get it was from somebody actually making it. All right? Are you familiar with all this?
Yep.
All right, so now, fast forward, we're in 2017. RuneScape 3 has a lot more armor. Rune armor is basically shit. Like, no one's really grinding out 99 smithing so they can make rune armor. That's just not happening. It's not even happening in old school RuneScape for the most part.
Yeah, you get them from drops, through Slayer, through bossing, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Or you buy it from some dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, clue scrolls, whatever it is. You can buy it, but they even have, like, merchants, like, you finish the Dragon Slayer quest and boom, you can buy yourself a rune plate.
Yeah.
So, RuneScape 3 was saying how they want to revamp how basically smithing and and mining is going to work. So I'm sorry if I get this wrong for someone who might be more familiar with it, but I'm just going off from what I was reading and trying to, I don't actually play it, so it's hard to say. But they wanted to bring down rune smithing and mining down to level 40 to make it on par with the defense level you need to wield it, right?
Yep.
So that's what they had first proposed. Oh, and in this way they can add, higher tier armors that you can kind of create, and makes it kind of easier for them to balance. It makes sense that they want to revamp it that way.
Yeah, I can understand the reasoning, but...
So that's not the issue in itself. That's actually like, they propose that. People are like, you know what? I understand why you have to do that. This game has evolved so much that having 99 smithing to be able to make all of rune armor just seems pointless nowadays. They have so much better armor that you don't even care about rune anymore. What came out was they were like, guys, we got a little bit of an issue. And it's hard to say if it's an issue or if it's a laziness issue. But they had a poll that was going to be released and saying, guys, do you want us to do it properly and revamp the whole smithing and mining, like 100% revamp it, bring down the rune armor and all that stuff down to 40, so then add in new sets of ores and new sets of armor that you can create, let's say a 60 tier and a 70 tier and an 80 tier. That's just higher than rune. Or do you want us to add in all these new tiers of ores and armors, but we're not going to change the way the rune is currently smithed? So they're basically asking, do you want us to do a full rework or do it like a half-assed job reworking it? So yeah, they put the poll out, and normally with old school RuneScape, and same with RuneScape 3, when they did polls like this, they don't do it all the time. Not like they do with old school RuneScape, but they still have it sometimes where you need to get 75%, right? So a majority has to want it to pass.
Yeah.
But they said for this one, they're going to keep it at 50%. You know what I mean? Like basically whatever just gets more votes. Basically they came over saying, hey, can you guys help us vote for this to make it so that it doesn't pass? We want it to have a full rebalancing. That's going to involve, even the alk values of some of the items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like all that shit. But if it fails, then they're just going to do a half-assed job where they're just going to like throw in some new items and shit without having to rebalance all the other shit. So, right? You following?
Yep.
The polls are going to be coming live September 4th. That's what I'm reading right here. And, they're asking if people can jump in and can vote on it to get it, so they can do it actually right. Because they're just worried that it's just not going to pass properly. But some positive news is... So that happened at the beginning of this week. Since then, a bunch of outrage has been happening. And that's why you've been seeing all these memes of like, it's like, instead of, old school RuneScape versus RuneScape 3, it's literally old school RuneScape with RuneScape 3 versus Jagex. That's what a lot of them have been doing, right?
Yeah.
And what people have been saying is, guys, this affects our game just as much as RuneScape 3. So definitely do vote on it and make it so that they're actually taking it serious. Because what happens, let's say, when they release the half-assed update, and then a bunch of people say, fuck this game, I'm done, this is it, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah.
What happens when enough people in RuneScape 3 quit? There's a good chance we might be seeing a bump in our membership prices. We might be seeing bonds go up in money and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the problem if RuneScape 3, a lot of people say, fuck RuneScape 3, but if it gets hit too hard, because RuneScape 3 is a big money maker still, but if it gets hit hard enough, it's going to directly cause some changes in old school RuneScape. At least there's a good chance of it happening, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to be looking somewhere else. Where can we get this money? Well, let's go to the other game, maybe. So anyway, since then, they've changed it from a 50%. Now you need to have 75%, which is good. And, that's the way it should be, and that's the way it has been for most of it. Yeah, so it's kind of nice to see the subreddit and, the community kind of coming together to help each other out. In our times of need, we have each other's backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that up because it was just like, I just saw this shitstorm going. I'm like, what the hell's going on over there? Take a peek over and you're just like, holy fuck, they're dealing with some shit. So definitely when the polls go live for RuneScape, jump in there and vote and get it, get it working for them because, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Yep. I mean, I do want to praise the community, but last time I did that, there was literally anti-gay rallies the next week. So
yeah, that's the thing.
I'll just say, good for them. I won't try and praise them too much because they're good for us, but because who knows what'll happen next week with this community.
I just think there's a small group that likes to be very vocal every week. Each week it changes too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's so many people that play RuneScape, and even like, yeah, just everyone's so different, right? So you can't just generalize the RuneScape community anymore like you could back maybe 10 years ago when we were all just kids playing at the library.
Yep.
Now we're all grown up. We all have jobs. That's one thing I like too. Like from people who listen to the show, they tell us, you know, where they live or what jobs they have and stuff. And it's all just so, you know, it's different. It's kind of interesting, right?
Yep.
Back in the day, we're all 12 years old and we're all doing the same shit. You know, now some people are in construction, some people are in school. You know what I mean? Like just all over the place. And it's awesome to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's like we're all growing up together, you know? It's like a big family.
Yeah. Weird. But, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was pretty interesting, and it was kind of nice to see, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think of RuneScape 3 as that spoiled, annoying older sister that, like, did
right.
one thing to you when you're, like, little, and then you just have, like, EOC is that thing, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She did
never forgive you for that.
You know, you're, like, 10, you come home from your friend's house, and you find her banging some dude in your bed. Like, something fucking weird. I don't know. That's pretty intense, but you know what I mean? Something that, like, you just don't let go of, and, like, you hate her for that, and then...
I'd say more on the lines of, like, they blame you for a problem, so then you get your PlayStation 4 taken away from you forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
no more video games.
Or, like, yeah, PlayStation 3, but then, you know, a couple years later, PS4 comes out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'll just get that, but I still hate that bitch for doing that. Anyways, I always think of RS3 as, like, just that spoiled, like, older, annoying sister. Does at least in terms of how the communities look at each other.
Yeah, but like, you know, I hop on RS3 every now and then. I'm still a pretty low level, but there's a lot of things that I'm like, oh, that's really cool concept, and I really like this, and you know what I mean? Like, it's fun to shit on each other sometimes, but you know what I mean? At the same time, I think we both realize that it's just goofing.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when, you know, if RS3 is kind of getting fucked, we're like, oh, well, we'll help them.
Yep,
you know,
exactly.
We'll help them out.
And,
is there anything else? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, except for...
You know what I like more than anything?
What?
Sex.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah, and on a high note, you know?
Yeah, those were basically all that was been going on this week, and I guess we could segue this to our question of the week last week, which was... Tell us about a content creator that you really enjoy, or like if you want to give a shout out to a smaller channel that you like, that you think deserves more viewers. Yeah, we got a response on the in-game. Actually, I had a guy just kind of message me to let me know. So shout out to Olap. Yeah, he pointed out a YouTuber named C Engineer. I've never even heard of that guy, so I went and did a quick YouTube, and I'm going to check him out later. I haven't actually got around to looking at his videos, but... Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is perfect what I'm talking about. I've never heard of this guy. He might, might be a breath of fresh air in the...
He does some pretty cool content, like a lot of PK-oriented content.
Okay.
Where his main thing is called TYC, which is Take Your Challenges, where people will, like, whatever is, like, the most thumbed up comment, pretty much, or comments that he likes, and he'll, like, do challenges. So some of them are, like, really silly, like, I don't know, like, he can only take, like, I don't know, certain item sets. I can't think of anything specific right now. I'm blanking.
Yeah.
But he does have some really neat, like, videos, and yeah. He was the guy that, he kind of created the meme with the whole, like, the whole Torvesta, they weren't expecting my Dragon Claws thing. Didn't know I had D-Claws.
Okay.
His first video that got him, like, popular was, he would pretend, he would use the Diango, the fake DDS, the DD claws.
Oh, that's right.
The D claws, sorry. Mm-hmm. And then he would do that a couple times, but then actually declaw someone and just rush him out or spec him out.
Okay, that's pretty...
He's done some really interesting things. I watch his videos. They're pretty nice.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll have to check it out. I didn't realize... I must be just out of the loop then.
Yeah, definitely, guys should give him a try. He's, pretty entertaining.
Cool. And,
I think he streams on Twitch as well, but sorry.
No, that was... So yeah, that was the question last week. And this week, like we said, guys, it's our 1 year anniversary. So, we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway, I believe. And I think the giveaway will go over the course of the next, we want to say 4 episodes? We'll do it over the course of 4 episodes. We're going to give away some bonds, or if you prefer the GP, I'm sure we could convert that as well. So there's going to be two ways. We're going to be having I'm going to be having a survey that we're going to put up on we'll put a link up on all the, Facebook, Discord, and Twitter, so you guys can access that. But it's going to be ways that we can benefit the show, kind of get, now that we're upgrading the actual equipment, and we're able to have these soundboards in the show and stuff like that. We want to hear what you guys want more out of the show as well, because if you've been listening from the start, you'll know that we've had a lot of format changes. There's a lot of segments that we've tried out, maybe realized we didn't have enough time to actually do it each week, so I had to cut it. But we want to see what you guys actually want to hear, whether it's like you want us to go in deep with like actual topics, like tell us about, training fishing, give us the whole ins and outs of the fishing skill, or maybe you want like tips on like bosses, the ins and out of certain bosses, or maybe you want to hear about, because RuneScape's an old game, there's been a lot of things that happened in the past that are just like little fun stories. If you want us to go back and talk about the Falador massacre, or if you want to talk about we were just saying it earlier, but talk about in RuneScape Classic when one of the first people got 99 smithing. There's a whole write-up on that. I've read it before, and it's how that person was able to monopolize the whole market and became just loaded because they were selling, the only person who could sell rune two-handers. Things like that. If you guys want to hear, maybe some fun little history stories of RuneScape itself and stuff like that, like we want to hear what you guys want to hear and stuff like that. So we're going to have a survey up, and you can just tell us or answer the questions, but there's going to be a spot where you can tell us your name, your RuneScape username, and after the 4 episodes, we're going to put into a draw. And so, yeah, that's one way you can go about winning some bonds or some GP. And we're going to have a second way, kind of 2 draws going simultaneously. And yeah, you could do both of them and have a chance to win twice, right? And the next one is, to do it the other way, is just send us a tweet on Twitter, or we'll give you all the information right after I'm done talking. But just send us an episode that, if there's an episode that stood out this year that you guys really enjoyed, for whatever reason, just link that episode, tweet at us, at the Wilderness RS, and then also hashtag with an old school RuneScape hashtag. And just doing that, and we'll throw your name right into a draw.
Yeah, pretty easy. Some free money,
Yeah, why not? And yeah, it's going to be going over the course of the next 4 episodes, and each week maybe we'll give you a little bit more information and stuff like that, give you a little update on what's going on with it. Now that we're a year in, I feel like our equipment's gone a lot better, and like we're able to do a lot more with these soundboards stuff. I'm kind of really excited to get this going. And if you guys have funny clips you guys want to send us, we can take little sound bites from that as well. But yeah, we just want to give you guys the best show possible now. Like when we first started this, we were so amateur. We just literally downloaded a program, recorded on our USB mics, and I have never edited anything before, but here we are a year later. We're getting a little bit better, and we're always looking to improve. And I'd say we are improving almost even still with every episode.
Yeah.
For the next 4 weeks, I don't think we're going to have a question of the week. We're just going to talk about this little contest going on. And if you guys like the question of the week, like some more community involvement stuff, tell us in the survey. Because, we want to hear what you guys want from a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it for you guys. Like, we could just talk to, we want to put out stuff that you guys want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think that's about it? Are we missing anything?
I think that's everything.
I hope that's everything. But before we get out of here, let me tell you where you guys can get in contact with us. There's a number of ways of doing that. So, said already, but I'll say it again. If you guys want to get us in touch on Twitter, it's at the Wilderness RS. Facebook is facebook.com/thewildernesspodcast. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. We have an in-game clan chat called WildCC. And we also have a Discord, and we'll get you a link if you're interested in joining.
Yeah, there should be one. I don't know if I pinned it, but I did put a link up at the top. It was the last post we had on the Facebook of getting a Discord.
Oh, okay, so there's one note there too.
Always check that out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I guess let's skedaddle. Let's get out of here for now then.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. I can't believe we're 1 year into this. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's a good year, I'm pretty happy with this year so far, so
it's been the best year of my life.
Another good one. We're peaking right now. This is our peak.
It's all downhill from here, so
We're gonna chase this dragon as long as we can.
I can dig it. All right, guys. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for sticking with us for a whole fucking year. This is unreal. We appreciate the shit out of you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And yeah, okay. Tune in next week, guys. Again, thank you. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it means a lot. Yeah, have a good one.
Definitely does. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.